Can you tell us about your character? Are we ready?
I'll tell you a little bit about it. I play a character called Henry, who is a death row attorney. He's originally from the town of Castle Rock, Maine. Has a very complicated past history with the town, and he comes back to the town at the beginning of the show in order to deal with a complicated case.
So it seems that Stephen King properties have had a resurgence in recent years. In the 80s, they had Pet Sematary, we had It, we had a lot of those different shows, but they kind of died out in the mid to early 90s, and kind of disappeared, and now it seems like we're doing more with It, and we've had the 1979 or 1973 or 1964, that's what it was, going through the years. What is it like to work on a property like that?
Well, it's really great. I mean, it has a sort of built-in audience. Some people hear Stephen King and they are, instantly excited about it. So that's great. And then also, you're right. For some reason, there is this resurgence and this renewed interest in his work. So, it feels great. This material is so fun. The characters are so rich and complex. I'm just grateful to get a chance to play it.
Were you familiar with his body of work?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching Pet Sematary, It, a number of other things. My mother is a huge Stephen King fan, so a lot of Sunday afternoons we spend, watching his stuff. So I grew up with a pretty good knowledge about his body of work.
So mom can be your technical advisor if you have any questions.
Exactly.
Good. That's very handy for you.
That's right.
It's a good resource.
She's on my mom is the advisor on everything.
Maybe we can get her a credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think it is about Maine, other than it just being where Stephen King grew up, that is like just spooky setting? I think for all of these stories.
I don't know what it is, but there is something about that. I did a drive through Maine just in preparation for the part. I'm rocking your
you're fine.
And I'm probably rocking all the cameras. We did a drive through Maine in preparation for the part, and there just is something about a lot of those small towns. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but it just feels like it has a lot of history, which obviously it does. But there is just kind of like this weird energy in the air. So I don't know what it is, but there's definitely something about it.
Are you a genre guy? I mean, have you done a lot of work in genre television? Because it's a different, slightly different animal than, say, a contemporary straight drama.
Yeah, I haven't. This is my first real sort of foray into genre, so it's still very new to me. And coming in at the convention center and seeing all the costumes and all the excitement about it is really cool to see. A lot of my friends one of my best friends is on The Walking Dead, and so I've kind of gotten a peek into it, just sort of hanging around with her. But it's my first time, and I'm enjoying it so far.
They are like rock stars here.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
I know. It's
Love it.
So where did you guys end up shooting the show?
We shoot a lot of it in Massachusetts. But there's actually several other states that we shot in as well. We were in West Virginia a little bit. We were in New Orleans for a bit. We sort of were bouncing all over the place. The guys have really done a lot of work to make sure that the locations are exactly what they want, so that it feels the right way. Which means that we travel a lot. We go to a lot of remote places, but it's worth it.
So a lot of Stephen King properties ended up being turned into miniseries, especially in the beginning. It was miniseries and television shows, and miniseries and films. And it seems recently we've gone more of the television show route. Do you think that his work lends itself more to one versus the other? What kind of challenges do you think it's almost more challenging to do a TV show in that way?
Well, in my experience, I think doing it in this format is actually really nice because there's so much more time to develop the characters. And I think that from what I understand about Stephen King, the characters come first. Right? They're very character-driven pieces. So it's nice that for me to have an opportunity to sit with this guy over the course of 10 episodes, and the work that Sissy's doing and Bill's doing, you have a chance to develop all of that. Whereas in a film, you don't have that long to kind of end up being burdened with plot and kind of having to let characters fall by the wayside. But in this case, I think it serves this story particularly well.
Can you talk a little bit more about your preparation for this character specifically, since you talked a little bit about being familiar with Stephen King's work as a whole?
Yeah, sure. So I played, as I said, I played Death Row Attorney. So it was really important to me to make sure I had a sense of what that was about. So I spent a lot of time with this group called Equal Justice Initiative. Ryan Stevenson, incredible guy. So I spent a lot of time with them and spoke to a number of death row attorneys and just sort of walking through what their day-to-day is. I spent a lot of time with a man who was recently released from Alabama's death row for 35 years. Haven't been wrongfully convicted. So just understanding what his experience was. So that really is where I started with the focus. And then of course just exploring Maine and what this town might have been like. A lot of the show deals with identity, questions of identity. So just doing a lot of research about that.
And then working with a couple of actors who have done other Stephen King properties, what does that sort of mix up like?
It's great. I mean, to be honest, I don't really, they're just great actors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just exciting to work with great actors. Obviously, Sissy's had experience working at Bill has recently had a pretty incredible experience with the Stephen King property. But for me, it's just like, who are the people, who are the actors, what's the story? Let's get to work.
Did you feel like it was kind of a heavier role going into the death row attorney and going through all that research and everything? Was it an emotional thing for you at all?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a very emotional thing. Being with the guy that was living on death row, for example, hearing his story, what he went through, you can't hear it and not be moved. And I think sometimes for me, I've always sort of abstracted the idea of death row as this thing that happened far away to people who were very bad and done some terrible things. But there are a lot of people besides these people who are fighting every day trying to get them retrials or trying to get them stays or trying to get them exonerated. And that work is just sort of the balancing act, right? So like the balancing that we need right now. So I learned a lot. It was very emotional, but also it was great to represent
So, Stephen King properties, some of them are very true to life, and they're less spooky, because he does some work that's less spooky, but there's always a spook element or something supernatural. Did you have to do any work on green screens or special effects work? How did you like that, or is that giving away too much?
That's a good question. I mean, that probably is giving away too much, but and also we're still making it. And the writers are right over there, and they're still creating. So by the end, maybe we will. I don't know. But again, it's really about the people, and that's when I first read the scripts. That was a big grab. Is that the way the characters are drawn is so incredible. It doesn't feel like necessarily a genre. It just feels like living complicated lives.
Sort of. The coffee table is like.
Was there anything that was particularly surprising, either in your research or just from working on the show?
Not yet. I mean, not really surprising necessarily. I mean, I was surprised by how good the scripts are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first script I read was like one of the best that I think out of television that I've ever read. It's fantastic. So that was what drew me to the part. As an actor, you read a lot of stuff that's not so good. So I was pleasantly surprised to find this material. Dope. Where are y'all from? Where do y'all write stuff?
I write for Nerdophiles.
Oh, cool. What's it called?
Nerdophiles?
Nerdophiles.
With an accent. Genre and international television.
From
Bustle?
That's dope.
When Nerds Attack.
Oh, that's dope. When Nerds Attack.
Yeah.
Sentences.
I gotta look all of these other That's so dope. Thank y'all so much, man. Is that how we do?
Yeah, but
We got time.
Go for it.
So you were saying this is your first comic convention?
First.
Have you gotten to walk to Florida all yet?
Not yet, no.
Do you want to?
I don't know. I'm a little...
It's a little intense.
You should do it now before everyone recognizes you, so you have a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah. Maybe I will.
I've been assuming that everyone with a full face mask is like a celebrity in disguise.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what they're all doing.
I remember, a friend of mine did, I guess in the San Diego convention, she dressed up as a Power Ranger or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who you're friends with.
Yeah.
That's a good friend to have.
Yeah. She's good people.
Yeah, that may or may not be what I was referencing to.
Yeah, okay. Does it happen often?
It does. Actually, what's interesting is Hugh Jackman once dressed in his full Wolverine costume, and he got told constantly that he was too tall to be Wolverine. People were like, "You're not Wolverine. You're too tall." And he was just like, "Okay."
That's so interesting. Usually people are shorter than you expect.
But Wolverine's supposed to be short, so they were saying he wasn't like a good enough Wolverine.
Wow.
They were telling the Wolverine that he wasn't a good enough Wolverine.
So I spoke to I can't think of his last name. His first name is Jarrell. He's on Mr. Mercedes. He was very excited to be portraying a black man who was best friends with a police officer, and he felt very like a responsibility to portray that relationship and kind of have that different outlook for society to view and positively. Did you feel any kind of pressure as in your role to like have that same responsibility almost?
I feel an enormous amount of gratitude for getting to play a part like this. The truth is that it's not every day that a person of color is playing the lead of a series. And I think with that comes a lot of responsibility. Because there are a number of other actors I know and actresses of color who are waiting for that same opportunity. You know what I mean? So I think it's the same thing I've always felt as an actor, which is it's my job to do a good job, not just for me, but it's also my job to send the elevator back down for somebody else. And I think doing a good job makes it easier for the next person. So in that way, I do. Yeah,
I got my break there. Every single show says it's limited.
Such a good visual.
Good luck. I hope next year you can't walk the floor. You're such a big